Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with a video for Eve Echoes. Now, today was going to be part 2 of the FAQ question stream, as there was an awful lot for me there to cover. The response to that has been fantastic, so thank you so much. But we did get a developer launch preview today, all about the monetization structure of Eve Echoes, and as this is really something I know a lot of people are very keen to know everything on, this is what I'm pushing out as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do today is, as usual, I am going to read through this full thing with you guys here. I'm then going to go over what that means, what my opinions and thoughts on that all are. Of course, it is a thoughts and analysis piece as usual for me. I will try not to ramble on too long, but if you don't want to listen to me ramble and just want the details, there is a link to the launch preview in the description below, so just click on that. Now, before we start, as usual, if you enjoy this video, let me know by hitting like on it, consider subscribing to the channel for all things Eve Echoes, and let me know what content you'd like to see me make in future, what topics you'd like to see me cover, etc. in the comment section down below, or by coming and finding me on social media, including the Catskill Cartel Discord. Whoo, I'm getting faster at that. Anyway, you probably can't even understand it anymore. Anyway, launch preview, monetization structure of Eve Echoes. Exile has decided to sit down and talk to us about what is happening with Eve Echoes and its monetization system. Obviously, that is a big concern for many players, so let's have a look. Now, he talks about here how the monetization system is a pillar of Eve, the economic system is a key important part of it, and Eve Echoes subscribes to 3 basic guidelines. Firstly, Echoes is sustainability oriented, maintaining a healthy circulation of currencies, both Plex and ISK, on the market. Echoes adheres to the monetization guidelines of EVE Online, avoiding the sale of products that will influence the balancing system. And EE aims to ensure the stability of economic liquidity and inflexibility. Now, those are some fairly hefty economic terms there. It's basically all about to do with the flow of money and how that actually stays within the system itself, which I'm not going to go into in a video like this. You can actually find an awful lot of information like that on YouTube, all about economics. If you're interested in EVE Online's sort of economy, by the way, I mentioned in one of the FAQ points that EVE Online's economy is actually studied in a lot of economics degrees at university, and it's worth actually taking a course in economics if you're interested in that kind of thing. And there's quite a few free online resources for that kind of thing as well. It does help a lot when playing EVE. Anyway, so let's begin with the design concepts and the limitations of the Alpha Clone. Alpha Clone is, of course, your basic account. If you log in, create a new character, and start the game, you are an Alpha Clone until you pay money to upgrade to an Omega Clone. Now, Omega Clones, the intention is to allow Alpha Clones to have the opportunity to be converted into Omega Clones, whilst ensuring economic freedom for all. At the same time, we aim to eliminate the frequency and tendency for botting, cheating, or rapidly creating new characters for prohibited monetary reasons. Now, I will have a link on screen now, hopefully, or in the description below, to my previous video on monetization, where they talk about things like the auditing system, all that kind of stuff that is designed to keep RMT, real money transactions, out of Eve Echoes, to make it as hostile an environment for that as possible, so that RMT players and botters find it's a game that's not worth their time, so they sod off elsewhere. Therefore, under these notions, limitations are applied as follows. 1. Alpha Clones have limited access to the market, free to access the ITC market in high and low sec. I note that it doesn't say null sec here, so it looks like null sec is going to be something that is not for Alpha Clones market. That's interesting. That does actually, it's something I'll need to seek a bit of clarity on, because that will change where the Catskill Cartel could be placed. The reason for the limitation is to reduce suspicious trading with significant price discrepancies in an attempt to transfer unlawfully obtained resources from Alpha Clones to other players. We cover that more in the video I just mentioned. Alpha Clones are prohibited from the contract function, which is basically where, rather than going onto the market, you contract someone directly. It's like me saying, I want 10 million Veldspar. I will pay you this much for 10 million Veldspar. Go and get that, and then give it to me, and there's your 10 million. And there's my 10 million, there's your money, sort of thing. So it's a direct way of actually avoiding the market, which is why it's blocked. Again, that previous video mentions why they've blocked that for RMT purposes. Alpha Clones are unable to learn certain skills, advanced and expert level skills, which of course you have to learn all the standard level first anyway. If you want to have advanced projectile turret operation, for example, you need to have basic projectile turret operation all the way to level 5. Anyway, same with expert, you'll need to have advanced all the way up. And some actually do require other things as well. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there are some skills that require you to have trained up the previous level of that skill, plus other skills to get into. It's kind of like a tree, you need these 3 skills maxed before you can take that one. That's not a huge limitation. Alpha clones are denied access to ships of tech level 8 and above, however they have access to several pirate cruisers and some special small ships. For the exact access list, please refer to the ship tree chart. I'm hoping that's the ship tree chart in the game. It would be nice if it's on this document as well, but I don't think it will be. And it'll show you in-game on the ship tree chart which ones are locked to you as Alpha, and which ones require Omega to get to. It's nice to see that some of the pirate cruisers and special small ships, I'm hoping that's pirate frigates and things like that, will be cool to have there that are tech level 8 and above. Tech level 8 is a long way into the game anyway. In the beta, we only really started to get to tech level 8 just as it was beginning to end, and that was with them showering skill points at us, so don't worry, that's a long way down the line before you need to worry about tech level 8 anyway. Alpha clones have the training speed of 30 points per minute. The default free skill points production when not training skills is at 50% speed. The pre-stored limit is about a few days worth. Alpha clones may allocate these points at will upon logging in. So basically the idea there is that if you have queued skills, you're earning 30 points per minute. It says there, not training skills, it's at 50% speed. So if you are training up a skill, and you've only got one skill and it completes, then from there on you're only earning 15 SP per minute, which when you log back in, all of those SPs that have logged up, so 10 minutes worth for example, you'll have 150 skill points that you can now go bang into whichever skill you want. Trading with Alpha clones has a higher tendency to activate Audit. Activating Audit will put the trade on hold until verified. Now, I get a lot of people are going to be a little bit like, about that. There is a good reason for it. I know it kind of sucks that if you trade something, there's a chance that, oh, actually it's going to be stopped and held for up to 30 days. But that is in there with a very good reason to stop this game being utterly destroyed by RMT, so you will kind of have to deal with that at first, or pony up into Omega, unfortunately. Alpha and Omega clones constitute a significant portion, I suppose, of our monetization structure in EVE Echoes, therefore we hope to explain the concept of them as precise and detailed as possible. From this point on, though, we will begin to introduce the pricing of these content. Cool, so Omega clones. We have differentiated Omega clones into two categories, basic and standard. Oh, please, they're staying with that name. If a player purchases a 2-in-1 combo pack, the price is listed at $14.99. The two versions of Omega clones can be obtained at the same time to maximize your skill point production. Okay, so that's interesting. Looks like you can go into a basic Omega clone for $4.99, so our $5 mark was right, and we were on the money there. Standard Omega clone is $12.99, that looks like an upgrade price, and then the combo pack is $14.99. It looks like our 5 and 15 were spot on the money, and if you do want to upgrade, if you decide that at the beginning of the month you only want basic, but then, oh, actually, I quite fancy upgrading to the standard, it does work out slightly more expensive, which is kind of to be expected. But anyway, first, we must establish that purchasing basic Omega clone alone negates the previously mentioned limitations. That is a key point. If you have basic Omega clone, the $5 version of basic Omega clone, you unlock everything. All of those limitations we were just talking about don't exist anymore. The standard Omega clones only offer mainly increased skill points production. An in-depth introduction on the benefits of Omega clone is as follows. So purchase basic Omega clone and receive an additional 5 points per minute, which comes to a total of 35 points per minute. The default free skill points production when not trading skills is at 70% speed. So I can't do the math off the top of my head on that, but it means rather than it being 30% when you're 30 points per minute when you're training a skill and 15 points per minute when you're not training a skill as an Alpha clone, as a basic Omega, you'll earn 35 points per minute when training a skill, and off the top of my head, that's 28 points per minute, somewhere around there, 25 points per minute if you are not learning a skill. So you do earn skill points at a increased rate. It's not huge, but it's noticeable. If you purchase a standard Omega clone, you will receive an additional 25 points per minute, comes to a total of 55 per minute. The default free skill points production when not training skills is 80% speed, and the stored free skill points limit is also increased even more than basic. That's a good point actually there, I need to mention that. So first things first, 55 points per minute is slightly slower than we had in beta. We had 60 points per minute, but when you're not training skills, so when there's no skill training, 80% of 55, again, you're looking, off the top of my head, that's 45 points per minute, which is still pretty big. Now here, the stored free skill points limit is also increased. Basically, if you are not training a skill and you're accruing skill points that you can just dump into something, there is a limit to the amount you can get. If you go away for like 10 weeks, it's not going to be 10 weeks worth of skill points. You will have only got up to a certain point and then it stops accruing further, just to make sure you do actually log in from time to time to use those skill points. But if you're on a standard Omega clone, then it's increased up to an even bigger limit. Now, if you purchase the combo pack, containing both basic and standard, you will receive an additional 25 points plus 5 points per minute, which comes to a total of 60 points per minute. The default free skill points production when not training skills is 100% speed, and the pre-stored free skill points limit is close to infinite, which is really cool. That means, basically, if you are one of those people able to pay the full $15, awesome, fantastic. It's not required to get all the stuff you want from Omega, but it does mean you are going to be skilling at the same speed that we were in beta, which is pretty exciting. Now, cognitive neuroscience, let's see what this is all about, since this isn't important as Alpha and Omega. Now, cognitive neuroscience greatly accelerates the speed of skill points production in the early stage. Simply put, it's one of the most desirable abilities in the game. We've designed cognitive neuroscience as a set of 3 skills, with each skill consisting of 5 levels of proficiency. Each of the 3 skills under the umbrella of cognitive neuroscience offers an increased production of 5 points per minute, which comes to a total of 15 minutes when fully trained. 15 points per minute when fully trained, I imagine that is. And the best of all, these points are valid indefinitely. So cognitive neuroscience, $1.99, level plus 1, total plus 5. Advanced cognitive is level plus 1, total plus 5, and expert cognitive is $30. Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out in my head. We highly recommend players with high demands for skill points to master these 3 skills and train them to level 5 as early as possible, but of course these early stage advantages will eventually smooth out as time goes on, so please utilize these skills in time and at your discretion. I think this is kind of like how in EVE Online, if you were to create a new account now, like I did just after the beta ended, because I couldn't get back into my old one, you can actually buy like a starter pack off Steam or whatever, either with Plex or with real world money. You can buy an actual starter pack that just gives you a boost to your skill points for the duration. I think with that one, it's up until you reach 5 million skill points, 50 million skill points, something like that. Basically, what it just helps get you to a certain point faster. It means if you've got the money to drop $30, you're going to reach, say, tech level 3 a lot faster than other people, but then you'll slow right the way back down once you hit that point. So it's kind of a pay to advance faster. I'm not against that. It's in EVE Online. As a system, it's a great way to sort of kickstart the game if you know what you want to do, if you're excited to get off the ground on one straight thing. I mean, heck, as I said, it's a long time to hit like Tech 8 if you are desperate that the one thing you want to do in this game is hit Tech level 8 so you can start flying a Hurricane. That's a way to boost yourself towards it, I guess. Corporation Clone. Ooh! Useful for me. Importance, 1 star. To enable the expansion convenience of corporations, we've also created Omega clones exclusively for corporation members. The price remains the same as basic. Under the corporation page, corporation members may purchase corporation clones. This particular type of clone is exclusive to corporation members and will be separated from the regular basic Omega clones purchased by players. If you have both the basic and the corporation clone is prioritized and the player's personal basic Omega clone will stop being consumed. Okay. In Corporation, those with authorities could award Corporation Omega clones to the assigned members to honour their contribution. Corporations could also choose to crowdfund or accept donations to purchase resources. Corporations may choose to explore the Corporation clone function at their discretion. Awesome. So basically, what that means is I can purchase corporation clones for the Catskill Cartel, I can then do giveaways on my YouTube channel, and I can donate corporation clones to you guys. And if it happens that you've got 3 days left of your Omega clone when the corporation clone activates, it won't use those last 3 days. You will get the full month of the corporation clone, and then the 3 days of your Omega clone at the end of that, which is the whole thing about being consumed. That's awesome. I'm all for that. Yes, please. Let's get some corporation clones going to help out those who are joining the Catskill Cartel who may not have access to Omega. Note, once the basic corporation clone is activated, it'll continue to consume time with or without an assigned member. A 48-hour cooldown will be applied once the ownership is transferred. We recommend that corporation management exercise caution when awarding corporation clones to members, for each player's playtime is equally valuable. Yeah, makes sense. Skins, importance 1. We've expanded the option of ship skins that are available to the public. Players can expect to see hundreds of ship skins available to purchase with Plex after the server launches. Huzzah! There are some really cool ones already in EVE Online that I'm hoping might be available. Some very cool Rifter skins, for example. There's a Hurricane skin that I've got my greedy little eyes on, and some Thrasher skins as well, and you all know how much I love my Thrashers. Ship skins available to purchase with Plex. Please note that ship skins will be released at different times based on the circumstances and future events. The pricing for these skins will also be adjusted accordingly. Some interesting ones shown on screen here. Obviously, there's a Venture skin there, there's a Rifter skin, woohoo! A couple of other ones there, like the Gardari ships. The ship name, hot. You can see some cool little skins there, and it's nice to see that the new Eden store, as it is in EVE Online, is coming along here. Price-wise, those are not bad, Plex costs, so that's kind of to be expected. It's nice to see that there's going to be a whole load of those around, the different skins there. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the unique ones we get for EVE Echoes. We've been told as well there will be unique ship skins on the way. Now, additions, regarding the content discussed and explained above, please feel free to offer your feedback and suggestions. That'll be on the EVE Echoes Discord. There is a suggestion channel. Again, leave polite feedback. If you get angry and aggressive and like, oh my goodness, $15 is too much, how dare you ask for $30 for this? Yeah, you're not going to get very far. Just be polite and be friendly. We know how it works by now. You guys are pretty awesome. For the most part, you guys are really great, and I love you all for that. So be nice to the devs and give any feedback. If it's positive or negative, let them know. We seek to actively engage with our community, open to design suggestions. Limitations we set on alpha clones concerning their access to the market is the result of our previous Discord with the beloved community, and for this we'd like to offer our sincere gratitude. Skill extractors. The devs are still debating at the moment, so please stay tuned. I think when they say the devs are still debating, it's more that devs and Sovereign are still debating. I know he has some very strong opinions on those. Regarding whether ships should be sold directly in the shop, we are not planning on doing so in this current stage, and will likely remain the same in the future. Good. It says here, if the community demands it, we'll consider the implementation of direct purchases. The community should never demand that. I cannot stress this strongly enough. That basically means all of this work getting rid of RMT from the EVE market ultimately is undone, and the developers themselves become the RMT, which is not what we want. Being able to purchase ships directly rather than just via ISK means that ultimately you are going to devalue them on the market. Not a good way to go. Regarding whether skill points should be sold directly in the shop, we took a similar stance to the above. Skill points and skills in the early game are time-related. The implementation of Omega in the early game already provides an edge to paid players, so we're not planning on listing skill points in the shop. Even if Skill Extractor becomes available, skill points in circulation should come from players, not the system. Good, huzzah, the developers have got that firm in their head. 100% agree with that. However, as always, would like to voice your thoughts. Once again, And now we've got a Q&A section, so just to discuss that quickly, the whole point of why skill points should never be purchasable and should always be direct from the player base themselves is ultimately it keeps it finite. It means you don't have infinite amounts of skill points floating around endlessly that, you know, you can suddenly just buy your way right up to the top of the game. You have to actually earn it, you have to actually work your way up. It's a measure of fairness. Right, let's have a look at the Q&A. What's high sec, low sec? High sec means high security and low sec means low security. Yes, we know that. The ITC market, we have selected certain junction systems located within regions and set up comprehensive market that can be viewed in any corner of the universe. This is the ITC, constituted of a series of interstellar trading centers, comes with remarkable significance. Players who are interested in the transportation and distribution industries can take on the role of shipping cargoes that other players purchased from faraway regions. If I buy in Maspa and I want it shipped to Jita, that's I can actually pay someone to do that for me. If no one's there to deliver the cargo, Interbus will be responsible for shipping it to the designated place in 24 hours, which is cool. It means that you can sit there and go, I'm sitting in Maspa, I want it from Jita, I don't want to have to fly all the way to Jita, I can either wait for someone to bring it to me, or if I come back tomorrow, it'll arrive, which is kind of like having Amazon Prime. Now, ITCs in the Zero regions will be built by player corporations or alliances in the future. Ah, okay, so that explains why they mentioned that it's in high sec and low sec that alphas can sell on ITCs, because there are no ITCs in null sec to start with. Okay, that's interesting. Player organizations will have the ownership to these ITCs and even have access to exclusive operations. Contracts are a tool to fulfill player-to-player transactions. One contract can contain multiple items. It's basically, as I said, it's like, okay, I want these particular ships and these fittings, and I'll give you 10 million ISK for these. You come along, you fill in each of the points on the contract, and cha-ching, exchanges hands. Free skill points are unallocated skill points that can be applied to any available skill. What's a trade audit? When a discrepancy is found in a trade, 100k plus ISK for alpha clones and 10 million plus for omega clones. A trade item higher in value will enter audit. Okay, so we've kind of seen all that before in the bit where we were talking about auditing and monetization before. I've said trade has been confirmed to originate from script cheats or legal means. The trading account in question will be suspended and the items will be confiscated. Ew. If the audit has proved the trade in question is legitimate, the trade process will process as normal. For details, please see the previous trade audit explanation as discussed by Nero or Augustus. Again, that's the one that's in the video. Should be in description down below on the previous monetization video for Eve Echoes. But to me, that's really cool. There's a lot to unpack in that. A lot of really cool stuff. I think ultimately we were right on the money about most of the Omega clone prices. The corporation clone thing excites me no end, as it should excite most of you, dear viewers, as it does mean I'll be able to give some of you some free Omega clone time. The cognitive neuroscience, I think I need to understand that a bit more, but to me it's just an early boost for players who want to catch up, and that's kind of always useful, especially later on in the game. Someone who joins in 6 months' time who wants to play with friends who've been playing for those 6 months, it's a great way to help you just catch up that little bit faster. But ultimately this whole combo pack thing here, and the basic Omega clone, yeah, that's really cool that you can get right the way back up to 60 skill points per minute, as per the beta, with the 100% speed for not training a skill. But again, these are just my thoughts and opinions. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below, or come and find us on the Catskull Cartel Discord. You do not need to be joining the Catskull Cartel to come and join us on the Discord and chat about all things Eve Echoes, but I do really want to know what you guys think on this particular topic. There's a lot of really cool stuff to unpack here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below or on that Discord. Happy sailing, and see you in New Eden.